got an update on the floor installation, and we're just about finished. I'm just about finished. Just got that little section there to finish off. This was 52 boxes of the Life-Proof heirloom pine. I was nervous about putting this floor down because it's something I'd never done before, and my wife wanted me to hire somebody, and I was like, I'm not doing that. 52 boxes down here was like $3,200 worth of this floor. It was a lot, but it looks good, and it totally changed the room. I just now have to do the trim around the bottoms, and it'll look 100%. So when I had started measuring from that wall to this wall and to that wall to cut my first row so that I wouldn't have a thin strip left, it came out good, which I thought it was going to be like 3 or 4 inches. It came out 3 inches. However, this wall was not square to that wall down there. When I built this wall, I squared it off the back wall and then again squared it here. So somehow, somewhere, either me, the builder, somebody's off a little bit. But when you're running this many planks to get to here, you're going to likely have some kind of issue. That's quite a distance. So tomorrow I got to fix that. I'm going to have to sacrifice a couple, 2 or 3 planks and just steel the edge that I need, and probably work it down to probably about here, because anything less than a 1/2 inch you're not going to see when you put the trim on it. So I've beat the crap out of this plastic thing. I've pretty much got these down to a science putting them in. It is a little frustrating that you get left with so many drops, because once you cut one end off of a plank, you can only use it at one end of the room, and it ends up with a lot of little pieces that you can't do anything with. You try and use them at the other end to start your next row, but sometimes it doesn't measure out right, and like I said, you'll never use them all. So that was one down, in my mind, one down part of this floor is, the fact that you get left with these little pieces, and it causes you to spend a little bit more. So, but it's soft when you walk on it because of the foam that's on the bottom of the board. It actually is a little spongy, and it feels nice, even with socks on, it feels nice walking on it. It is kind of noisy though. When you walk on it, as soon as you step on it, it's not real wood. It's just got a plasticky sound to it, so it's not the real deal, but the pattern's nice, the color's nice, and I could put this down for somebody else now and do a really nice job after doing one floor myself and get the gist of it. But if you're nervous, if you're a handy person, if you're halfway handy, if you can build, minor things, this stuff snaps together like Legos. So, and the best way that I found to cut it is to get a chop saw. I got a miter saw. That's the best way to cut it. You have to flip it over, because on mine it doesn't slide, so it leaves you with like an inch left. But you can flip it over, line the blade up again, and just chop the rest of it. That made it easy. I would not want to do this floor with a utility knife. That's just ridiculous. Yeah, oh my gosh, that sounds like a nightmare to me. A jigsaw and the miter saw is what you need. And then you just have to get really good and get a square, really good at marking stuff out. You have to take into account too that the piece is wider than just the covering. So when you measure, you just want to measure the actual face. You don't want to measure these pieces because they're going to go inside of each other, and you're only going to have the distance of the face. So you only measure the face when you're getting down to the nitty-gritty and you got to cut exact. But they make transition pieces to go to cover the ends. So I have to get those yet. I think they come in like a 6-foot length and you cut it or something like that. And then what I'm going to do is Tapcon it right into the concrete. So that sucker will be solid. But I got to get, you know, for every door, you know, where I stopped, I'm going to have to get one. They give you plenty of these spacers in the kit. When you get the hammer and the tapping block and the spacers, they give you a whole bunch of them. And to do a room this size, it was plenty. So, you know, if you're not doing anything this big, you're going to have way more spacers than you need if you buy that kit. But you can't really do this without the kit. And you know, honestly, I think it's going to be very durable. I'm just hoping it doesn't scratch. And I don't think it will. I've been pretty hard on it, putting it in, and there's no scratches. Maybe one minor went over there from my knee pad that I really bared down and slid on. But finish it up, get the trim on, and move on. But it's getting close.